Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You already know what time it is, man. We back. Meet that podcast with your boy P.
Hey, your boy, dude. Hey,
Shout out to
hey,
Slim, man.
shout out Sugar Slim, man. Showed us love, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Turned us up with this, huh? We can't turn down. What you think, P?
We turned down for nothing, man.
Oh, talk that shit. Talk
Turned
that
down for nothing.
Talk that shit.
Here to
Talk
speak the
that
truth.
shit. Talk
Nothing
that
but the truth.
shit. Talk that shit.
I'll help everybody that's sleeping.
Talk that shit. What up with you, Fade Money?
Man, what's going on? Dude, you know what the time it is, baby.
P, you know, it's a little cold where I'm at, man. You know what I'm talking about?
And that's
People-
crazy because you on the West Coast and I'm in the South. It ain't even cold out here. It ain't nothing but about 40 degrees.
You feel me? But guess what, P?
What up?
That's because you ain't know I was in the East Coast, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That-
Look, man. Look, bro. I wanna, today is a beautiful day. And
It's a beautiful day. Yay, 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 yay.
it's a
Beautiful day. Yay.
we just here to challenge people's minds. That's all. And maybe you see, maybe you don't. Maybe there is, maybe there's not. But if you don't agree, you know what you could do? Delete that. Hey, P, what you doing today, P?
Oh man, it's about to be another day coming up, man. We running on. I think I'm gonna get up, man, train, and do what I ever do it. You know what I try to do every day. Paint, Pinky, take over the world.
Golly. Well, with that being said, there's a lot of people taking over the world these days. So, look, with that, hey, man, let's talk about today, man. Today's show, man, as we go back to a topic that was interesting to you guys and time prohibit us to go on, man, that some people had some views and then some people chimed in, texted in and wanted to get on. So what we did was brought you guys another show just because they had more time for people to get on, just to show you we're about just hearing your voice, man. That's what Delete That is about. It's just a voice, just
Yes.
hearing. We just want to talk good stuff, man. And you know what I mean? Like I said, it's all about love. Putting love into the world, less hate. With that being said, P, what you got to talk about, man?
Man, we're gonna run it back with part two. What this new administration is doing. They're coming into, you know, we're out with the old, in with the new that has been here before. And we just gonna see what's going on. There's a lot of people being affected by what's going on. A lot of people got something to say. It's people scared. Some people is agreeing with it. We're just here to talk that talk, man, and walk that walk. So with that being said, man, we have two special guests in. One who was on the last episode, OG Fred Mack, and we have a new guest, man, P Dub. You know what I'm saying, from the boot.
Wait a minute. Was that the guy that was in the last chat? He was P 2445, something like that. I remember
Just
him.
now catching on right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's another guest. Yes. I forgot.
So
He sure was in the inbox.
he
And
decided to call in. I mean, come
oh,
in, not even call in, but to say, you know what, I want to be on the show, and you know us at Delete That, man. We
hey,
added
man,
him on the show.
come on, man. That's what we do. And if you get too reckless on the show, delete that.
Delete that. So with that being said, man, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing started, man. We're gonna bring in Fred Mack, and we about to bring in P. Good. Welcome to the show,
What's
sir.
up? What's up? What's up?
What
How you
up with
doing?
y'all, man?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Chilling, man.
Fred Mack, welcome back.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Ooh, we and is this P? How I pronounce it? I done mess your name up a couple of times, brother, but it's P 2454438. That sound like a cell number.
Yeah,
Y'all come on here and
nah,
talking
man.
that shit. You better watch
It's
yourself.
P 2445, man.
That's that guy, y'all. So we welcome 'em both to the show, man. You know, to delete that, man. Well, we let y'all talk that shit. Now, you know, we listen and we we all opinionated on here. So we ask everybody to keep their feelings in check. You know what I mean? It's nothing personal. And we even get talk from our guests that's outside watching. You know what I mean? And some get a little crazy in the text, but it's all love, man. You know what I mean? So, you know, with that being said, man, let's talk about some shit, man. Y'all called in, y'all came in to talk some shit. That's what P told me, and that P was lying. He don't never lie. We ain't never made a dollar off telling a lie.
Man, never haven't gotten a check yet. You know what I mean? That's my motto.
That's the motto. You understand me?
So, you know, let me go
Yeah,
ahead and
man.
start off, man, because you know I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Just like them funk ass
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
You can't stop us, baby. You can't stop us. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, we had Agent Orange back into play. You know what I'm saying? He is back. He's back in the building, man. So, you know, there's a lot of people being affected with what's going on. And the dude, you know, man, he's doing a lot of this and a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's so much right now. We're being saturated with all kind of stuff, man. So right now, in his first week in office, the dude has signed record number of executive orders during his first week back in the White House. What do you guys think about that?
Mm.
It's
Uh,
crazy, man.
mm.
What have you
Yes.
been hearing, man? What you been hearing? What's
Hey man, listen. All I know is I don't know. I gotta check on whose side it actually was. Was it going out or coming in? I had a
delete
good
that?
friend of mine.
Crazy. That was crazy.
I had a friend of mine though. He was released. Yeah, I mean he's getting released. He got pardoned. So
Okay, that's what
little cat of mine. So I don't know. I gotta see what side it came from, but shout out from whatever side it came from. You know what I
you
mean? Yeah,
I
you know what I mean?
I heard
Yeah.
Grandpa Biden, man, pardon his son from, you know, from being locked up too. Was that true?
As he should.
That's what you
Yeah.
That
I
happened. That's
I I
Yeah.
heard that's
that's
the reason
facts.
Would you
allegedly
not do the same? I'm just saying.
I heard allegedly they found the powder pack in the White House. How the
Delete,
kids used to do
delete.
it? They found the
Hey,
powder pack
hey,
in the
man.
White House.
Listen, man.
What up?
leave old smoking Joe alone, bro. You know what I mean? He got enough shit going on right now, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
He pardoned everybody, his whole staff. You know what I mean? I
Okay.
don't know why he pardoned them and they wasn't convicted or not. I guess it's for all future.
Just in case, you can be pardoned for something you ain't did yet.
Hey man, that's what happened. So I don't know.
Right.
But
Yeah. Gives you immunity.
yeah.
yeah.
So, you know, with that being said, man, just talk that I said talk that shit, man. I don't know what you're gonna say.
Record number of executive orders, man.
Mm.
Some of them send some people back over the border and all things. So, fellas, guess what do y'all think today, man?
About the executive orders.
A record number of executive orders being signed.
Well, I feel like he'll be breaking some more of his own records. I mean, it's only been 8 days, and he's just getting warmed up. So yeah, he can break his own records.
Dang.
That boy got a pen that's on fire.
Yes.
Yeah, a
You
lot
got
of
too much
ink in that
ink. You
pen.
trying to get rid of some of that ink, man.
Is that a marker, man, or is that a pen? Is it a marker?
It's kind of like a marker. Most of anything that's used in administration, they keep that and put in the presidential libraries or auction
Oh, okay.
stuff off, and everything they do, they got to keep record of it and hold on to everything in there.
Now, Fred, should people be really tripping, man, since 33% of those executive orders last term didn't get passed through? Is that something that people should really be worrying about or what?
Repeat
Well,
that. What was that?
Should people really be worrying about that? It was a record number of executive orders signed this time.
Yeah.
33%
Oh
of
yeah.
those in the first term was not approved. You know what I mean? And I think recently, just a couple of them wasn't approved. Now he was just signing away. Is it going to be the same thing? You know, he can scare people right now with the scare tactics. Would it be something that would say, okay, look, this ain't gonna stand anyway. We're gonna block it. The Supreme Court block some of them, right?
Yeah, I believe just like some of the ones he just signed, some of the judges, district judges actually brought about lawsuits to
Mhm.
block them. Once those lawsuits are brought about, then you get them blocked until they can bring them before a Senate hearing, and then send it over to the Supreme Justice. But now, like you were saying, I mean, now he's got a lot more power to do what he wants to do now versus he did last time, his last term. So yeah, and he's going to use a lot of scare tactics. He probably won't have to use scare tactics. A lot of people are already afraid and scared, about what he's going to do. He actually said, what he was going to do once he got back in office. He's going to, go after everybody that was against him.
What you did a lot of those did a lot of those well, go ahead. I'm waiting.
Huh?
Nah, go
Well,
ahead. I was thinking about something. I said, just go ahead.
who?
Yo,
I, I was just enjoying the conversation, man. I'm just finding it so interesting.
okay,
And
my bad.
you guys are okay.
A lot of the people that he put in the Supreme Court, wasn't it a lot of people that he chose to put in there in the like, was it two of them? One or two?
Four.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
God.
You remember when President Obama was in the primaries running against Hillary Clinton? Well, he was up against Hillary Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
And Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the lady, the justice, she was trying to hang on. She was trying to hang on, for Hillary Clinton to get in office to where she could be replaced, have somebody replace her that pretty much held some of the same views, political views, and to keep that court, kind of balanced. But
why is that a lifetime position?
So why is it a lifetime?
Yeah, why we can't put terms on that, man? Like, why is it a lifetime? The president
you can, but it's the president. That's something that the president can do. He'll send it to the Senate to get done. But since Donald Trump stacked the courts like he did, that's when they realized that we do need to put limits on it, because that's uncontrollable power right there, And so Donald Trump shows those four justices, and all of them, are mid-age, so they can be around, for another 40 years. Because you look at the average age of the court right now. Not now. I mean, it's kind of been lowered a little bit, but the ones prior to these four that he picked, they all up in their 80s, 80 years old. So he brought in some younger ones to where, they can be around to make those supreme decisions for another 40, 50 years, 30, 40, 50 years. That's the dangerous part about it, along with him getting that vice president, J.D. Vance, one of the authors of the Project 2025. He's a part of that regime also to move forward with their agenda.
Speaking of agendas, P 240, 405.
What's good, man?
What? Let us hear your agenda. I want to hear where you was at, because you was in text and in the inbox, and we was trying to keep up with it, and then Scribble went to throwing his shots, and it was just such a beautiful thing to see you guys interact like that. Well, I want to hear where your mind on this. What's your perception on the views that we seeing, man?
Honestly, man, I'm looking far ahead. I mean, it affects us directly right now, but I'm looking as far as the next generation. You know what I'm saying? like down the line. So my thing is in 2025, if he's trying to set it to where he can get reelected for another term, I'm looking at his son Barron right now. He's 19.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? That's another line of power that the family name continues to go.
Oh
Whenever the
yeah.
inauguration went on, you know what I'm saying? You look at everybody that was up there, you had Barron, but you had also a large number of IT techs.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah, a billionaire.
You see what I'm saying?
So
So,
basically, you saying it's gonna be like England?
hey, possibility. I put nothing out of this. I put nothing out of. I say never. I can never say never to it. You know what I'm saying? Just for the simple fact, you look at everything. He's trying to restructure everything. What's the purpose of restructuring?
Well,
You think about you kicking out your generals. You're kicking out. You're stopping federal aid grants. Small business that could affect small businesses, universities. I'm a small business, you know. So
not
you
hey,
look at
even
eh,
school.
schools. Yeah, there you go. You know, so that's where I'm at. You know, people are looking at right now. I'm looking years down the line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's taking all his money, right? He's taking the money from here. He's taking money from there. That's gonna leave a lot of angry people, correct? Is it gonna leave
So
a lot of people to say, you know what? Does this get people to go out and vote and make a change?
Mm,
it should.
Because it looks like it's about to affect everybody. If you're not on a certain tier, like so, what
Yeah.
if you're all in this barrel? You know what I mean, and all the elite is at the top. What eventually happens?
You
uh,
have a situation of the have and the have-nots.
there you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
So
That's what you
so
got.
so let me
Either
say,
you're up here or you're down here. It's no in the middle no more.
That's actually
Agenda.
that's what defines a third world country. There's no in
Okay.
betweens. That's the have and the have nots. Yeah, it's classism. See, it's not just racism involved. You're talking about classism.
like China.
It's like I
Right.
said earlier when I typed it in. That's what I was telling you. That's what I was meaning when I typed in. It's the new Jim Crow Esquire in effect. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? To
That's
where
right.
it's no more saying nigga, nigga, nigga. It's it's the other way now. We're
That's
gonna,
a
you know what I'm
second
saying? We, no,
strategy there.
we're not gonna whoop you with the whip no more. We're gonna whoop you with laws and orders that you can't necessarily once they're in place, they can't be changed. So that's why I say I'm not just like looking for right now. I'm looking, and that's what I'm trying to. I want everybody to start looking down the line. You know what I'm saying? You can't drive a
Right.
car just by looking directly in front of you. You have to look at least 15 to 12 seconds ahead of you. You know, so
Right. Right.
that's my take on it.
Now we get that. We get that. That's facts. So I mean, so here's where I'm at with that. Even P said something about getting out and vote. And my thing about that now, just my thought. The electoral votes seem to matter the most. So there was one time and there was a vote and they had won the popularity vote, but they didn't win the electoral votes. So do your vote really matter if you're not a part of that group?
Um, yeah, it matters, and matter of fact, it really matters, and it matters to the degree of if it didn't matter, why would they try to take your vote away, or why would they put so much money into to influencing you not to vote, or why would they pay out so much money? I mean, this is like one of the most lucrative elections in history. I mean, there was a lot of money, put into these elections, and you're talking about some record numbers. Like, look at Kamala Harris. I mean, she raised almost $1 billion.
Right.
$1 billion. Now, this is the thing, when it comes to these campaigns, they can keep all that money, or they can kind of
Right.
pass some of it on to help the party, like her Democratic Party, and the other way around. With Trump, now you talking about with Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and a number of other uh, electorates. They actually raised money, from a lot of multiple donors. Now you
Right.
go in there with Donald Trump. I mean, he had like some billionaire donors, like P42 2445 was saying. You look at he had some tech giants standing behind him on that inauguration. I mean, three of the most wealthiest men in the world. And you have to
Right.
ask yourself, I mean, now you're going back to the plutocracy.
Right.
Again, I would challenge anybody to look that up, plutocracy. That's the ruling elite, so yeah,
Uh-oh.
it pretty
Uh-oh.
much matters.
Hey, just a heads up. Uh-oh. That sound mean we just got a caller. Scrib is on the line. I want him to just bring him in and you can finish the topic, man. We won't stay on cue, but we won't bring Scrib in the conversation. Scrib waiting. We're gonna bring old Scrib in, man. What up, Scrib? Welcome to the show, baby. What up with you?
Hey, work this.
What you say?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I'm hearing my own voice.
Oh, you must be playing something that got you double hearing us. But Fred Mack was talking, and we was bringing you in so you could get in on the conversation, man. But Fred Mack, go ahead on and finish what you were saying.
Yeah, I was saying, I would challenge anybody to look up that term plutocracy. Going back to what 2445 was saying. When you got the super rich that was standing behind him in during the inauguration. I mean, so yeah, voting matters. I mean, because you look at the money, just follow the money. Why was so much money put into these campaigns? If voting really didn't matter, and then to really get into it, the disasters that's going on out there in California. Trump went out there and he kind of told them. He did a pretty strong political move, to go out there to kind of trying to downplay, the governor out there because he know that he's going to be running in 2028 also. Gavin Newsom, he'll be running in 2028, and but he told him, he said,
Gavin Newsom is a total scumbag.
What you say that? What you say that, Scrub?
Says it's total scumbag.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I think that.
Go ahead.
I think nickname New Scum is perfect for this dude.
Who that?
Gavin Newsom. I mean,
we can hear you good.
Whatever you feel about Trump, whatever you feel about him, how he handled that little meeting in Cali was exactly what needed to be said. You know what I mean? Because they royally effed everything up with these fires out here.
With the fire.
Oh yeah. He kind of redirected some of the funds, but back to where he was asking me about the if voting really matters. They wanted to package a deal with saying, okay, we're going to help you with these fires and this disasters to help the citizens. See, it should be about the citizens out there, not Gavin Newsom. But this administration has said that, yeah, we're going to help you with the fires, but we want to package in a new voter ID for the next terms to be voted in. You got the midterm elections coming up. Not to say anything about 2028. Gavin Newsom's going to be in there. And so you get ahead of that thing politically to get him out the way. You know what I mean? Because he is a force no matter what his opinions are and his political views, his ways of doing things. He's still a political force. You know,
Look,
if it had not been for a lot of African Americans saying that you cannot jump over Kamala Harris because she was the vice president this term, it was going to be Gavin Newsom was going to step in, but they told him, "Hey, it's not your time yet." Just like they told Barack Obama, it wasn't his time yet until it came about when he was running against Hillary Clinton. So yeah, but I mean, why would they throw in that package deal when you're talking about all these people out in California suffering to say we're gonna help you, but you got to agree to us bringing in a new voter ID for the
okay.
constituents out in California. Now and then you look at um like you say he's a scumbag. I mean, can you kind of elaborate on why? I mean, has he done anything different than any other governor or politician?
He misappropriated all the funds for something like this. He mishandled everything in such a horrendous way that there wasn't fire in the fire hydrant. I mean, there wasn't water in the fire hydrant.
Right. Okay. I'm glad you said that about a misappropriating funds. Now we got a president that just froze all the federal funds for federal workers. He just froze all that. Where's
So
those funds going to go?
so let me ask you this, Script. Are you speaking from like personal like experiences from Gavin, like his representation of the state?
I mean, I'm 5 miles from Altadena, which was obliterated by the fire. I got a lot of homies who, people think, oh, the Pacific Palisades, who cares? That's rich people. But Altadena is a lot of black folk and a lot of low income folk, and that got obliterated too. You know what I mean? So I just know, looking at the mismanagement of all these funds, man, like, it's crazy that was even allowed. And the amount of money that goes into these local politicians here in Cali, it's like, yo, you could have taken all that money and put it into funds for something that we suffer from almost every year, which is the most insane wildfires in the country.
Well, so let me ask you this. I'm just asking because, like I say, I've been asking this question since the last show, and I just want to know. Like, I'm inquisitive about it. Like, 'cause I'm curious. I just want to know because it's the thing that we don't know that scares us the most, right, Scrib? So, what do you see like what Trump brings to the table? Like, what do you see that benefit us as a whole nation? Like, no white, no black, no. What do you see benefit us that says it's gonna be great again? Does that mean that we're gonna balance the scales and we gonna uplift some people that's low class to middle from out of middle class and put you up here in the upper class? We're gonna financially inflate your bank accounts. We're gonna change your lives overnight. What does that mean? I just want to know. Like, I'm trying to see how does it benefit us, right? Because I love your point of view. So I think you may have an insight to tell us where does it benefit us as being black here in America, as being that people. Like, I see what's going on. I'm not being non-sympathetic to the people that's being forced out of here right now. Don't get me wrong. I'm not being selfish asking about just the black man. I just want to know if this benefits us as well. Can you elaborate on where you see him, what your vision you see him that you like about him? Can you help us with that?
California. The main thing, I would say, I was for Republican or Democrat. I was a conspiracy kind of guy, I was with
Talk in your phone, Scrib. It's a little.
It's all a setup kind of thing. But what got me at the end of this insane liberal policy, and I'm trying to watch my language here.
No, you ain't gotta watch your. Hey, man.
Hey, well, hold on, Script. Are you on like on a Bluetooth or something? Because we can hear your phone is like perfect, then it gets like kind of muffled.
Yeah, I'm on.
Okay.
The muffledness, I'm hearing everything I'm saying back. Yeah, I think that would help.
You echoing.
Yeah, there's like a crazy.
Maybe speakerphone, maybe.
Because sometimes I can hear them perfect, and then it'll
Yeah, like it's like that noise cancellation thing going on. But hey, man, wait, once Scribble get his mic together, you know what I mean? He gonna finish it up. But P, what do you do? What do you see? What do you see over there?
Well, you said, you said if where is the money from the federal funding going if he's going to stop all these programs? That was what I was asking when I was mentioning, and then Fred said it turns into classism, right? Like some other countries. So if he's doing this, you got to follow the money trail. I know I heard that many a times, right? So if you're taking all this funding away, creating classism, you know what I mean? Then it's like it's not like they can just go cash out on this money. So you're gonna do it into being just higher level and lower level. And I know once, us as blacks, Americans, we've made a lot of something out of nothing.
All
I
right.
think we can actually redesign whatever we're gonna do. I think that is gonna create once
Black
everything
market,
is taken away, it's gonna recreate something else that they didn't have
not a
planned
black
for us
market.
to create. Yeah, black market. And I'm a firm believer in the black market because
Well, you know what? I wanna inject another situation. He said something about what
Scribble.
Scribble. You there?
His phone was acting
Oh,
up.
okay. But
Man.
he said something about Gavin Newsom defunded, we misappropriated funds,
Mhm.
right? That a lot of misappropriating funds take place in all levels of politics, and not only in that region. Now, when you go on there and research that, what he do with the funds when they were misappropriated, what he did, he didn't misappropriate, he redirected those funds. He redirected those funds into police, into policing. Add more police out there in California, right? Because see, Republicans for a long time they were saying things like like during the Black Lives Matter movement after the uh, Derek Chauvin got convicted, for kneeling on the neck. You heard a bunch of defund the police, defund the police, defund the police, right?
Mhm.
And so that didn't sit too well with a lot of police union, with the police union overall. And so they had to stop using stuff like defund the police because that meant what they took it as meaning that just to get rid of the police. And of course, we all know that even though we may not like the police in our communities, we need them though. Because
Oh,
what would
yeah.
it be like if there was no police around?
Gotham.
What's that?
It'll be Gotham.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I say it all
So
the time, man.
so
Gotham.
so they what they did, they spun that was all spin. So now when you start talking about misappropriated funds, he redirected those funds to the police. And now Donald Trump's back in office. Guess what one of their themes is? Bring about bring it back. Stop and frisk. Stop and
Right.
frisk.
There are some states that has actually started that in there. That Louisiana was one of them that was passed.
That's
Where
right.
there are a lot where they got the right to stop and
That's
frisk.
right.
They got to have probable cause now.
And
That's
now you
it.
start talking about that goes along with who are you? Where's your ID? Do you have a passport? You see what I'm saying? All this it aligns, with
Right.
all that to where so it's not about this immigration, what it's about is um, it's all economics. So what's
True.
happening is when you start talking about defunding the freezing the funds for the federal government and shutting down the government, you got to ask, where's that money going? So if I got a buddy or a family member with the nepotism going on that goes on the government, because like P240 2445 was saying, Barron Trump.
Wait a minute.
Now he's a student over at Yale University now, right?
So
I think it's
let me
Yale,
ask
New York University.
let me ask you this.
Yeah,
So if he shut down the federal funding, the federal government, then
he's frozen. He frozen already.
What governs him at that moment?
Well, see now what happens is you get rid of a lot of government workers, like he's always been wanting to do. Republicans have always said small government, right? So you decrease the spending there, and then you go get contracts. You sort of contracting everything out. Then you ask yourself, to who? And then that goes along with the DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, right?
Okay, so you're speaking more on just funds that's appropriated to give out to folks.
Not to give out. It's to actually operate the government. Those funds that's taxpayers' money that goes into the government for them to operate the government, right?
Right.
And so different areas.
If they shut,
California, let me tell you this: California paid more into the federal system than mostly any other state, along with New York, right? But they don't get as much back. What's that?
High tax bracket.
Right. They pay in more, but they don't get as much back as a state like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama.
Right.
So I'm saying?
Because we don't pay certain taxes here.
Exactly.
So my question is, who governs him at that moment?
Well, that's Congress. See, that's Congress that comes up with the budgets. They come up with the budgets, but then the executive branch, where they have committees to where they are able to appropriate those funds. Like Scribble was saying, misappropriating funds. And that's based on biases saying, okay, where does the money go? Should it go over here? It should go over there. And that's all done going back to what you was asking about. Does the vote really matter, right? Yes, it does matter. It's almost like the census. A lot of people, when they knock on the door. What's that?
Here's where I differ. I just need to ask a question where I differ at in the question of, we saw what happened to the Capitol. So what Congress, so again, who governs it?
Yeah, you mean who governs the president, or?
Yes.
well, that's what you call accountability. That's why there is 3 separate branches of government. That way everybody is held accountable. See, that means the Congress can't, just make a decision, or the Senate can't just make a decision, or the president can't make a decision. And then if they come upon some type of disagreement, that's when it goes to the Supreme Court. So yeah, it matters. So now,
how many people he just pardoned?
What's that?
How many people he just pardoned, the president?
Well,
1,500.
Yeah, you mean he pardoned all of the. See, it was more than that. That was just the January 6th intruders.
But no branch. But this is what I'm saying. Listen for a second. So no branch stopped him. And all I am saying is, who governs him now? Because if he control the Senate, they control the seats, and they control the judges, and they control.
Well, they can't do it. They could still have. Every president has abilities to pardon. That's any president. Now, when you look at the voting, now All presidents have
but
get
what I'm
pardons.
saying, this what I'm saying, Fred. We know you have the ability, but those was the people that just stormed the government,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
and they was released. So at that moment,
Who can
that
stop
was
him?
right. That's a clear sign of power. Like,
Well, the people can stop him. The people can stop him by not allowing him to get into office. You see what I'm saying? So now he said
yeah, nah,
it was no surprise that he did what he did and doing what he doing. He said he was going to do it
right.
before he got enough. He
And
said it.
nobody stopped.
So you got to ask, why did
Nobody stopped it. You
why did
gotta
people vote? Why did
they
people
did.
vote?
Because I told you they was on TV crying, talking about they know they were gonna take their people too. Yeah, their people too.
Right.
Yeah.
See,
Some
and then
people,
you look,
some
I feel
people,
the
look,
voting.
but I think people thought of money. That I think money was the persuasion. If you look at the topic of everything that has went on, the surrounding backing of it is money, right?
oh yeah.
People thought because Trump, and now you got Elon, you got with the Zuckerberg, you got all of
Mhm.
the richest men on that platform. Like I'm saying that that's the who's and the who's not. Ain't up there. They had the
Yeah,
best seats in the house. They said better than his cabinet.
Yeah, because I had seats
true.
and I just didn't go.
Delete that.
I was busy.
But
Hey,
that's like, to me, like I get it. Like we could go out there. We gonna go out there. Yap yap yap. I have watched the same people that was as powerful as he was in the moment of the changing of power took off running. What are you scared of? The guy that was in that that storming of the Capitol, the police officer said his mom was getting death threats. He was getting death threats. They threw feces on his mom, all because he testified at the Senate, and nobody done nothing about it. So I am saying at this moment, it is what it is, and it's
Well,
like
I
it's a
mean, when you look at, a number of those people went to prison. While Donald Trump wasn't in office. See, if he would
now his vice president didn't agree with letting him be pardoned though.
right,
right.
right, exactly, exactly, and
Nobody
so
that stood for America
Before they all way into this,
believe
though,
in the principles of it.
everybody was saying we're gonna back this dude no matter what, as
mhm.
if
Right.
they had an agenda. They know something that we don't know. We're
Right.
gonna back
Bingo.
this whole program, whether it's good or not. Be 100%.
Well,
With a
now think
smile
about
on their
this.
face.
I
Think
think
about
Ted the
this.
Entertainer said it a long time ago. Y'all going to the moon? We coming to the moon. We gonna be right
But I
there
mean,
in the 6'4".
overall, I look at it's like what P said. I honestly feel in order to get the change, you have to start at the local level.
That's right.
If
That's
Right.
you
why it's
don't,
all that.
I mean, because it's just like I watched a clip just before we got on, and it was the city of Chicago. They were going off, telling off the mayor of the city of Chicago.
Hmm.
He took money, promised all these changes, but now when it was time for, oh, I'm going to stop them. I'm going to stop them from being able to get sent back to their country and all that. It's the
Oh yeah.
money.
Well, see, he's
You follow the
answering.
paper trail.
He's answering to the people that vote with the money.
Exactly.
He's
Exactly.
answering to
You follow
them.
the answer.
So, like,
Exactly.
I mean, if
So
somebody
is that
prop
the
you
college?
up, on any level, they prop you up, and they saying the reason why I'm propping you up is because I want to get this done. I got you.
Hey,
And then as soon as you go in there and don't do what you say you was gonna do, they ain't worried about the person that's not voting. You ain't helping getting them in there anyway when you're not voting.
exactly.
So they looking at the people that's voting to say, or the money behind to say, okay, what do
Well,
you
it's
need me to
they
do?
look at it's the
If you don't
bribery,
do
you
it,
know.
we ain't gonna get. Well, you're not gonna get reelected. That's what it's all about.
So
See, now
uh,
it's really strange when you look at Elon Musk, for example. He's talking about shutting down China. All his businesses, though, not Elon Musk, but Donald Trump was talking about putting all these tariffs on China, right? Elon, a large percent of his business come from
and
China.
Russia.
Parts, his company, China. So you raise the tariffs on them, he get more money for the product that he's selling here that people are still buying, like a Cybertruck or a Tesla or whatnot. And then the man owns a SpaceX. He's charging $1 million to go up to space. And people were paying it. They were paying it to go up to space. On top
People
of
are
that,
moving, they ain't paying.
what was that?
People moving, they ain't paying. You talk about pay, man.
Well, they using the money that we give their companies. They spending money that they get from citizens.
They say they're gonna first remove all the rich popularity stars, superstars. We're gonna get y'all pockets out the way. Cause y'all can't come. You can't bring your own because you got
There
30,
you go.
you got too many men. You know what? That boy said, Charleston White said, I don't want 30 billion. He said, I don't want what come with 30 billion. Just give me 10
Right,
billion.
it's a lot to come with it, man. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you
That's
into
true.
another tax bracket, right? Shout out Charleston for that one. But hey man, listen, bro. I just think that what we're in and the things we're seeing, like again, I'm still a person that I want to be the play devil's advocate and just hope, you know what I mean, that at the end, like we saying now, what's the end of the results of the empire? Like at the end, I just hope that it involves us because it's a lot of trust going on right now. Not a lot of fake, but a lot of trust. You know what I mean? And I think people went for the money move. They thought the stock markets was gonna flip over as soon as they take office. You know what I mean?
That stock market ain't going nowhere. I mean, it's been around, like you mentioned the Great Depression. That
Right.
thing was still around then, and it's still around now.
That's what
And people that invest can make money whether it's going up or down. Call or puts.
right.
But you
But they
mentioned
thought
some
that
key
everything
things.
was gonna go up. That is the stock market. You had people really thinking
It's gonna
once he
go up.
takes office.
It's gonna go
that-
up,
No,
and
no, know what I'm
it's
saying.
gonna go up.
They thought the day he take office, the stock market was about to boom.
It
Right?
did.
It
It
normally
did.
does, though, right?
It did. It did.
Ah,
It
None
went
of
up.
my stocks did. So, like I said,
But see,
as God
see,
said, it was gonna boom. So some
So
of the stocks we've been
you
holding on for 4
you
years.
can't be invested in Newports and
Well, no,
Newspaper stocks.
no, I was invested in. No, I
I'm
ain't
just
gonna say
messing
that.
with you,
I was
man.
like, that was
Trojan,
gonna be funny.
Keep your
I,
business to yourself.
I was about to say something.
Trojan,
I was gonna
Viagra.
say, but that wasn't gonna be funny. That was gonna say, yeah, you sure lost that one. You know
It's
what I'm
like
saying? I was invested in the
Trojan and Viagra.
bill. The bag. They don't work. Bluetooth.
Don't you?
Shout out, Bluetooth.
But the stock market did go up.
Da-da-da-da.
It elevated, but went
Mhm.
right back down though. It went right back down.
Yeah,
Now,
well,
that's
you
what it
gotta. I
always
mean,
do.
but you gotta look at the price of
That's what I
oil
tell
right
you.
now.
yeah,
Huh?
You see what I'm saying? The price of oil right now is up. You know what
Man,
I'm
the
saying?
price of eggs is up
Gas
in
hasn't
California.
changed.
Hey
Gas
man.
hasn't changed.
I,
Eggs has
I
increased.
heard eggs are like $10 a carton.
Yes.
I
Hey,
almost bought me
I
a
saw
chicken yesterday.
listen,
it
you
is
know
now,
how much
that,
a 5 dozen carton of
now,
egg is right now?
but
I
that's the
saw in the store.
agenda though.
Our
That's the
president
agenda.
said people can't
$72.
buy the eggs and bacon. He was working on lowering that. He worked on lowering that. But what happened?
They're eating the cats and the dogs.
Look at that
Hey,
cat over there.
isn't that funny? And I'm in the
That
state where he
dog been
said that
eating a little bit more than
at.
anybody else.
Ohio?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, but you know,
But the thing about it is, man, the price of oil went up because he made a promise to those.
drill, baby,
You have to
drill.
look at you have to follow the money. It's what you said earlier, Fred. You have to really follow the money because the
So who getting
oil,
so who getting the money at the end of the day?
the
Investors.
rich.
Investors. Yeah.
So you're saying this: if you take all these funds back from federal and all that stuff that the government's withholding, he can say his homeboys might have something that I can buy into and give those
Yeah.
funds to these guys,
Yeah,
and all of a sudden we make our panel rich, and then we just rise, baby, rise again. So that's basically what you
exactly.
said. It's like having a homeboy and a connect. We keep it within the community, basically, the
Right.
rich
That's it.
community.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
So
That's really what it is.
it goes back to my original question. If we gonna be all the way at the bottom, we got to create the black market and all this. How long can this? Well, basically, how long will this happen? And will if that's the case, does JD Vance come in next year and push that same agenda that he was
Good.
pushing from when he was in? You know,
He could because when you look at the history of these administrations, I mean, you're looking at like a 8 to 12 year turnaround. I mean, like I was saying on the other episode, you go back to like the 60s, and there was a regime change, going to the 70s with Nixon, and then he gets thrown out of the office. What do you call it? He got evicted out of office. What do you call it when they get rid of the president? And then
Impeached.
impeached. And then he
Right.
came, his vice president, Ford, comes into office. He pardons Nixon. And then, it runs its course because he took over the rest of that term. Then Carter comes into office. He was only one term. So things started turning around. And the same thing that happened with Donald Trump the week he took office with this Hamas releasing these hostages, that same thing happened with Iran in the oil crisis back in the 70s. They was rationing out gasoline back in the 70s, where you can only buy so many gallons at a time. And then Carter got in office. He came out. Carter was too good for America, matter of fact.
He's a nice guy.
He was actually upholding what was on our money. In God we trust. The man, he was more significant after he came out of office.
Well, Fred, don't when you come out of office and somebody else, when a transition takes place, isn't it still that you're correcting what happened to the previous president? So shouldn't he be correcting with Biden? Doesn't it take a little bit of time to correct with Biden? Or he's just crazy enough to cause enough damage in 4 years?
Well, you actually, when you say correct, it depends on who's leaving office.
I mean, they always say, I'm handling with that. Yeah, I'm inheriting what
inherit a bad economy or a good economy, right?
So like Obama inherited a recession.
Right, exactly. And then he pulled it all out of the ditch, and like that's what I'm saying. So from the 70s, there was a bad stretch there. And then Ronald Reagan comes in the 80s. And he was like the so-called godfather of conservatism. Like a lot of these conservatives now, they get that from Ronald Reagan. So they had a Reaganomics. I mean, so that put everybody, they put a
So basically you're saying he gonna back the agenda.
Who Donald Trump?
JD Vance.
Oh yeah. Certainly. He's actually one of the constructors of Project 2025. Yeah.
So
that's
my question is,
so tell us about 2025. let the people understand what 2025 is, because we could keep saying 2025, and there may be people listening that don't even know what 2025 is.
2025 is a part of the Heritage Foundation, to where their thing is to, like what Donald Trump is motto
Wait,
is
isn't it Agenda 47 2025? Project 25? Is the Project 25 the year? Isn't it the Agenda is 47?
2025. Yeah, it's 2025, which they started bringing this thing about a while
Years
back,
ago.
years ago.
Okay.
But they constructed it right around 2022, to get it all on, like the 900 pages or whatnot, right? And keep in mind, some of these people are lawyers and doctors and engineers. See, a lot of the politicians, we look at them as being somebody that's just elected, and their salaries, you looking at 100, mid $100,000, right? But they're lawyers and doctors and engineers and wealthy before they come in office. So when they get in there, they become wealthier. And there's a reason why you would want to become a politician. Maybe sometime, but that money start falling through, it changes you. I mean, either you're against it or for it, and you could be a good person, but that money will drive you up out of there, man. So, but going back to,
Me, I need some money.
yeah,
Same.
but
Now,
going
now,
back
let me,
to
now, Fred, I got a question for you.
Well,
Is it possible by him shutting down all these government funded things? Because we have a $36 trillion deficit. We in debt.
right.
Is that would you say that that's part of him trying to clear the debt
Nope,
as
nope,
far as cutting
nope,
some of the funding
nope.
uh,
See, the debt,
or trying to put some of the tariffs on people?
the debt ain't going nowhere. Now, the only way you get rid of debt,
the debt got covered when you got the richest man in the world backing.
right?
You got the
Well,
richest man in the world, right?
Well, see, the debt itself, that's separate from what the money that being generated for the wealthy. That's something totally separate, because you got to keep in mind that they're doing tax cuts for the rich. So now that book, there's a book out called The Creatures of Jekyll Island, and it talks about going way back from the inception of the Great Depression, when the railroads were built by Carnegie, and then you got Vanderbilt, the Rockefellers. That money there, they got rich, from investing, and that's what I'm saying. The stock market ain't going nowhere. That's
So-
how the wealthy, they don't keep their money in banks. They keep everything invested to make more money. To get a
that's
return on
where
their money.
now we talking about Bitcoin and everything too.
Yeah.
So look, watch this. Let me
Mhm.
ask you this. So in Project 2025, do you think that means the draft will happen again? Because they're talking about
No, I
inside
don't think.
that Project 2025, they're
I
saying
don't think it'll be another draft. I don't think it'll be another draft because,
here's why I'm saying this.
yeah,
They're saying that inside 2025 says how we could take on China. Fix that. There's so much inside 2025 that is saying close to there's only two ways I know we're gonna beat China. Either we're gonna come to a decision or we're just gonna go storm them. So
you can't do it though. I mean, but see, I'm glad you brought that up, because it was something you said earlier about voting, and so now in the 60s, see, a lot of young people didn't vote these past 2 to 3 elections, but in the 60s, a lot of young people voted, and you know why they voted?
Mm-mm.
A lot of
they
young, huh?
They wanted change because they was dealing with segregation.
No, that wasn't it. You was dealing with the Vietnam War. They didn't want to get drafted.
You're right.
See what I'm saying?
So
They
you
didn't
don't think
want to get drafted.
they wanted to stop that segregation?
No, that's before the Civil Rights Act. See, they wouldn't see. You know, it was a time where the military was even segregated.
Right.
So it was about young people. Now you talking about a time where black folks couldn't vote anyway. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? That
Right.
was a period of where they couldn't vote anyway. So the Vietnam
So that's
War was
why I'm
going on.
saying when you brought up the 60s, and that's where I'm going at with a lot of this,
50s.
Fred.
You know, the 50s going into
50s,
the
50s,
yeah,
60s. How does it
60s.
benefit us? We didn't vote then. Our vote didn't matter. And it's like right now, to some people, and a lot of people feel like that. And I think that's why the votes are dropping. They're feeling like
Well,
it don't
I
matter
think
when you hear, hold on for a second, Fred. When you hear that you won a popularity vote, but it's the electoral votes that matter.
well
Yeah.
that's you talking about the electoral college and see
Yes, I know
they
that. But that's why people are losing faith in
yeah,
democracy, and
yeah.
people are losing faith in because you're saying if all of the people said this is what I want,
But
then
yeah,
the small selection matters. That has to change.
Well, yeah, you're right. See,
That has
even
to
Biden,
change. Until that change, and you
even
remove that
Biden,
separation on people and stop saying this is that you're basically saying this is a superior mindset of people. These are the respected votes. Your votes in these states, you're gonna be a popularity, but these electoral votes that we're counting certain states is gonna matter.
and that's
well,
discouraging.
That's
well,
discouraging.
That's
see, the electoral college is some Biden even brought up, you know, that needs to be you need to do away with the electoral college because it's outdated. See, the electoral college came about because of the Civil War when you had the North and the South, and so the South started counting their slaves as citizens.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So that gave them more representation based on the population in certain areas. So that's what that electoral college is all about.
Right,
It does need to be done away with, but see
right.
that's not what a real problem lies at, right?
But it does because it has a lot to do with who's sitting in that office.
Well, yeah, it does. But see, guess
So it
what?
well, I
starts from the
still
top.
my
We
thing
said it
is
started from the
in
top.
order I feel honestly, in order for you get the actual change, you have to vote on your
Right,
local levels.
Yeah, I was
right,
about to say your
right.
local. Yes, your
Yes,
local. That's what
Your
matters.
local
yeah.
officials are where you
Hmm.
get your
Hmm.
change. So
That's right.
therefore, once you put pressure on your mayors, governors, your senators, and now we can't
Representatives.
wait to vote. Yeah, your all your representatives. Now they have to speak because now guess what? They have pressure on them.
See, and then
We
you got
can't
the
wait
electoral.
my thing is we can't wait 4 years to be having the same discussion
Now,
of
right?
saying, hey,
But it
Yeah,
happens
the
every
vote
we,
That's
it's
what
every
I'm
it
two
keep
saying.
years.
happening. So
Every
therefore
2 years,
that's
you
why I
got
say we
yeah.
have to get out and vote
So,
locally.
but what I am saying is there's nothing to vote locally, worldly, universally on the ballot that said we're gonna change the electoral votes. Like
Yeah,
we're gonna do away
yeah,
with that.
Well,
because
right now,
the
Until that,
because I look at
electoral
it right now
colleges
because
are delegates. Those are
you have a
delegates.
governor right now that's with the same agenda is what our president is. Right
right?
now in Texas, we have a governor right now
Oh
that's
yeah.
with the ish. Yeah,
Oh
he's with the ish.
I
With
already know.
yeah.
See, the,
Shit,
the
So
delegates,
boy,
the
don't play.
delegates of each area is
Nobody want to go to
the
jail.
electoral college. That's the electoral college is delegates.
the delegates.
Yeah, the delegates. Uh, uh, our boy
Who are,
Tim,
who are the
coming,
delegates?
who are the delegates?
Yes.
They are actually selected by the people that's in your district. Like your boy Tim, he used to come in our shop. He
The
was
one
a
you talking
delegate.
about, the one that got bit
Yeah, the one guy.
on the head with
He
the
was a,
pit
he
bull.
was a delegate. He was a
Yeah.
delegate at one time.
Who say he
So
fought the pit
you got a
bull.
large number of them, and so the decision of the delegates, they take that to your representatives to say, okay, this is how we voting in this district, and so they got to input that based on all the delegates in in the districts that
Right.
make up the state.
So what do all that counting the votes to make sure the votes are right. They got living people voting. You got dead people voting. You got people that ain't get here yet voting, and you got people in other countries voting. So I just need to know, Fred, if like P said, P2445 said the local, right? That's what affects us immediately, like Vernon would say. Shout out, Vernon, man. But that's what affect us. What's happening right now in our states, because the craziest thing from state to state, laws change, and we're saying get out and vote, and people are going out and vote, and they don't realize that won't change the laws in your states.
Yeah, well,
That's been that's what I'm saying when I say that. It won't change the laws in your state, no different than there's marijuana legal in some states and it ain't legal in a lot of states.
well, that's
So, no,
that's
this is what I'm
federal.
saying. No. What it's a law, period. I don't care, federal or not. So what I'm saying is, as a law, how does it change unless you change the structure of the design of things around us, man? And I'm being real now, that the structure of things, we could go out and fight and vote all day, but there's nothing that we're voting on changing structure. What we're watching, like we say what Trump doing, he's changing structure with Project 2025. That is a structural change when you're saying that I could be a president damn near as long as I want. You want the power to stay another 4 years after them 4 years and saying that's 8, you know what I mean? You didn't serve a lot of term. You want to change the structure of things. That is not the way it's governed. The Capitol getting stormed, that was not the way it's governed. So when we saying we want to be this state and we want to, we got to go out there and do, there's stuff that's happening.
Yeah.
That literally we had no voice or opinion about as a people that sit by and watch something get stormed, and we would have been treated differently if we would have stormed a grocery store. Let's talk about a federal government building.
Well, I mean, you look at each state have 2 senators, no matter how small or big it is, right? And to go back to what you said about legalization, it's based on the governor of that state and the representatives of that state, right? They don't have anything to do with the federal government or the president. The president,
and that's why I say they can't change what was going on locally.
What you mean? It can't change? Yeah, it can.
So you saying it can again, and then you saying that it's federally in different states. We can't have it one way and not the other.
No. What I'm saying is
legalized. If it's legalized in one state, and the president say I want it legalized, it's gonna be legalized. They're gonna say
no. He can't do that. The president can't do that because you got states' rights. So like in California, you got 2 governors. You had 2 senators that were for legalization, right? Because they wanted to serve their constituents or the people that voted them in there, right?
And so he can't do that, you said?
Who, the president?
Yeah.
No, he can't control what the governors do.
Goes on within your state.
The same guy that got in that bill with 32 convictions.
No, he can't do it.
He can't do it.
It's up to the governor.
Okay.
He can't do it.
Prime example: when the winter storm hit, Abbott he didn't accept the emergency funding.
The funding from the federal government.
That was his right. He
said
and the president, and there's nothing that the president at that time could do to overturn it.
Yeah, because they didn't want to be connected to Barack Obama.
Hey,
they want to be connected to Barack Obama.
If somebody reject your money right now, is you gonna be mad about it?
Hey,
no, that's not. It's not their money. It's taxpayers' money. Though.
I'm fucking with you. We know who.
But, I mean, but see, when you look at
now. Speaking of taxpayer money, hold on. Speaking of taxpayer money, you absolutely right. So here's the deal. Back to what all this stuff comes down to. We're saying the vote and the structure to change, and we're saying the structure, and that's what it comes down to right there. What you said, in a nutshell. How do you fix that problem?
The voting?
The voting again?
No. You asked what it was. I'm asking what you asking me is what's the question you said about the voting, or what are you asking?
No. So we're saying with Trump taxes, right? They take money out of everything, and no matter who get in that office, the taxes won't change, right? We established that. They're gonna
Yeah, they
continue to
change.
take. They're gonna continue to take.
It changes based on the tax bill.
No,
It's
the
based. It
amount
changes
may
based on that.
change, but it won't stop. When I say change, it
Oh, no,
won't
you
stop.
can't stop. You can't stop the taxes because
Right, but
that's how
we pay. They say, oh,
taxes pay the bill.
we're paying for people with no insurance. We're paying their insurance, and we're paying this, and we're paying that. Why are we as a people paying for people when there's a government that should take care of the people? So the structure of things has to change, because we pay taxes when we go to the store. We pay taxes at the end of the year, and you still take out of them taxes, and we don't get all.
Well,
So
there's a
genetically, do you ever own? Here's the deal: will you ever own your house and your property?
No, you don't
no,
own the mineral right.
you own it, but you'll continue to pay taxes, and that's based on
So,
if your house catch on fire.
no. Do you
The taxes
ever
go
own
towards
that?
you own the property, but you still got to pay property taxes.
Why?
Well, why is because the trash that's being picked up, your taxes pay for that. The fire department and the police that comes out to your house, the taxes pay for that.
Hold on. That don't work like that out here in California. You pay for trash to get picked up. You pay for recycles to get picked up. You pay for your grass to get picked up.
Yeah.
But you take taxes and make me pay property taxes. Why am I paying property taxes when I didn't pay?
Well, reason why is because California is a high tax state, and they send a lot of money into the federal government.
In every state, you're gonna pay your property tax, though, right?
Yeah.
Why does it continue on?
Because I mean, your taxes on your property is assessed by the size of your property, right?
Right. So why I can't pay it off?
Because I mean,
I gotta pay you nothing no more ever again, and I own it flat out.
Okay, well, because let's say if you pay your house off, you say, "Oh, I don't want to pay no more taxes," right?
No, Fred. I want you to understand. I know how it goes, but I am asking, why do we pay for something if it's ours? When do we ever stop paying for it?
Because you still need the government services for your house that you pay for. You still got to have it because guess what? The water lines is running to your house.
I pay a water bill.
Now we ain't talking about a water bill. We talking about the maintenance on those lines that's coming to your house.
That's funny that you say that. Yeah, the government and your taxes pay for the roads, the streets, the police, and all that stuff. But why is it if I know somebody just recently had a issue with their water in the front and they had to pay for that? So if they was paying that, why didn't that cover the money that they had to pay in taxes?
Well, you know, see now this is the thing. You got a water lines that run down your street, right? And they call them mains.
Mm-hmm.
And then for each house, you got a line come from your house that runs to that main, right? So the city said they're only responsible for everything that's up to your sidewalk. If you got a sidewalk, if you don't have a sidewalk, it's to the edge of the curb. So if you have a problem or a breakage on your property, that's on you. You see what I'm saying?
It's covered in your water bill, and they cover the service if they got to come out.
Now the water bill is covering the amount of water that you use that's going through their lines.
But if we're paying property tax on my property and it comes only to this certain area of the yard and they cover the streets and all that, if I'm paying money on the property and property tax, why is it that I have to pay for that if it breaks under my property? If I'm
it's not only about the breakage of a water line, because that may not ever happen at all for some property owners. It's about the fire departments, the police departments, and to
True.
be able to use all the facilities that the government control. So if the fire departments and the firemen and how that thing operates, just the fire department alone and the police department alone, it takes money to operate it. Who's going to pay that? Who's going to pay them salaries
So
without taxes?
let me
Who's
ask you this.
going to pay that?
Well,
So
when
that's
we
why you
go
get a lot
when
of
we
people
go to
saying
our
when they
job,
tell the police you work for me.
Right,
True. But
right,
it don't work because you still get that. Shut up.
right.
That part.
Yeah.
so
Shut up,
who
Dave.
pay the employee salary at McDonald's?
Now that's private industry there though.
Right,
That's
I know,
private
but
industry.
I'm gonna use an analogy to the both of them. I know what it is. I just need you to know who paid the salary.
The CEOs based on their profits that comes into the McDonald's.
Mhm.
And we're paying
Taxes when you go to buy a burger.
right. We pay taxes on everything. We
Sales
established
tax.
that.
That's a sales tax,
Yeah, it's a sales tax.
and it's
You better
different.
believe it.
It's different based on where you live.
Right. We get all
Yeah.
kind of tax.
It's based on where you live.
So the question is will you ever own your house and your property?
Yeah, you will. You'll get the deed, but you still got to pay taxes, property
Right.
taxes.
Property tax.
Because guess what? If you
Those
got a
services
fire,
still exist.
if you got a fire next door, and they the
So-
only one paying taxes, and your house catch on fire along with theirs,
Right.
and you
So,
can say,
why don't-
well, y'all can't. They have the right not to put the fire out in your house because you're
Right.
not
So
paying-
why
you're
don't
not paying the taxes.
instead of taking a person house because they behind on their taxes and and forfeit their shit, why don't they just cut off their services?
Because you pay a monthly fee for that thing, right?
It's just your property taxes. I'm trying to say that's
If
a
you
lot.
pay for your water, you pay a monthly bill, electricity, and all that. So this this might be
That's
off
what
the
I'm
grid.
saying.
So if that covers that and all that, well, I ain't gonna say that it covers it. What about the people in California that houses are burning down and these insurance companies are backing out of that? I know this
See,
is
now
off the
insurance,
cuff,
That coverage. After they just
insurance
dropped
is,
that coverage.
yeah, they dropping they calling it while it's burning down right in front of them,
Yeah.
saying, you know what, we
Yeah.
changed our mind. I mean,
well, that's almost like you a business owner, right? And you get sued. You get sued. So you know before you lose all your profits, you just go out of business. You see what I'm saying? You have a certain amount. See, insurance companies also borrow money from
Banks.
banks, and that all comes from investors. Hold on a second. Let me plug my thing up here.
Oh, so it's not the money that's saved. If I put $1 million into this bank and they use my money to loan out this money and all that, sure that ain't
No,
coming
they
back from us?
invest. Banks are they invest their money. They invest, and then it's almost like an option. It's almost like an option. See, the premiums that you pay the insurance company, they take that money and invest it. And then if you turn around and file a claim, you turn around and file a claim, they pay you the portion of the insurance that you actually got from them, right? So you got a large number of people, like going back to Hurricane Katrina again. State Farm was one of the largest insurance companies, but they didn't pay out a lot of claims to people because they looked at it like this: we can't pay out all these claims because we'll go broke. But you done got all these millions and billions of dollars
And they got rich.
from your investments and your
Exactly.
premiums.
Well, let me ask you this, Fred.
Yeah.
Because I'm still on will you ever own that house? Right. And here's another one for you about that house. If I pay my property tax like I supposed to after I done purchased my home, paid for my home, why do I need to answer to HOA?
See, now that's a decision you make before you move into a community.
No. That I should be able to move wherever I want to move if I could afford to move where I want to move, Fred. See, that's what I'm saying. See how they had a stipulation, but in a if and a because of the
Wait a minute.
structure of things. That's what that
Let me ask you
structure
something
is.
here.
The
You
structure
said
of things.
you
But
said
the
why
HOAs
should you?
within that community.
No,
You said why you should
there's a
continue
certain.
to
They'll tell
pay
you can't
HOAs.
put up a. What you say, Fred?
You said you asking me why do you have to continue to pay a HOA fee?
Well, now that's another conversation. I said, well, I got to answer the HOA along with now, since you added that, I will go after that and the fee.
Well,
like,
see, not every neighborhood have a HOA,
That's
well,
after, that's after they consider it run
we
down, though, right?
huh?
That's after they consider it run down. Don't they just bail out like, okay, next to the next
No,
better community?
no. I
Right.
mean, not all communities
But
have
I don't want to
HOAs.
misdirect that. I just want to know why I have to answer after I paid $400,000 or more for my home, my savings. This is where I want to raise my kids, my family. And you're going to tell me how I need to cut my bushes a certain way. They need to be a certain height.
But
You
see,
can't have a certain fence
guess
back
what
there.
though?
You need to have an
Guess
open
what?
fence and not a
They
closed fence.
they don't tell you about those rules and regulations after you move in. They tell you before you move, you buy the house that about
But no,
HOA.
but I'm saying, why is there rules? We ain't define that. The thing
Well,
is that there's
the
rules
rules are in place
for me spending my money.
because if there's no rules and regulations, you're gonna find some people that's gonna paint their house lime green and pink.
So,
And you're
so
gonna
what's
find some
wrong
people
with what
down there that's
Trump
gonna
doing then? I don't
huh?
think nothing wrong with Trump doing. Trump saying he wanted to be a certain way, and he want this area to be for these people, the haves and the have-nots, to stay on this side of town. Remember what I said about Harlem, the Cotton Club? You know what I'm saying?
But see,
And, so that means Trump is
there's no
Trump.
equality in that
It
because
is.
no,
When
let
you
me ask
think
you
about
this.
them controlling your house and telling you what you
Let
can
me
do
ask you
on
this
property.
then. Let me ask you this question here.
Go
So
ahead.
there's no equality in it based on, let's say, the have and the have-nots. If they go into a store, whether you have or have not, you still paying the same taxes, right?
Yeah.
No, because
Right.
I bargain half of the time I go in the store. I tell them I
Well,
ain't
you
trying to
can
pay money.
you can bargain your price, but you can't
Yeah,
bargain
but
the
so I
tax
don't
though.
pay the same taxes in every store you go in. No, I don't.
Well,
At
Well,
gas stations, I do. They get me every time.
well,
That's the
yeah.
only one I ain't figure out yet is the gas station.
dude, I
See,
definitely need an HOA because I can't have you in no Speedo on your front
right,
lawn
exactly.
with
So
your
I mean,
with
but
a New
see,
Orleans Speedo on in the front yard. You talk
yeah.
about what's up, people?
Delete
I
that.
walk outside.
Gee, what up, baby? They call me Sector Chow. You understand me?
You know what I'm saying?
Little over there.
They like to call you short dude.
And say, boy, you supposed to have 3 legs. Look like you got 2.5. That's doing. You're looking like what your boy name is on Rush Hour. The Asian dude that had his pants on. Boy said he had a bush down there. What the? Is that, is that real?
you know what, dude?
Huh?
That's the reason why a lot of corporations have moved to Texas, and there's a reason why a lot of people from California move to Texas.
Tax breaks.
The tax
Yeah.
burden is not
Right.
as significant, and then on top of that, you got you get more bang for your buck.
Don't they
You
incentive
know,
give you incentives to move out here too?
yes. Well, I mean, corporations they do, and then you start talking about the cost of living. You know, move from certain areas like New York and California. There's no state income tax, so a corporation that move, they'll tell a corporation like, "Hey, you move your company here, You move your company here, we're gonna give you like a 15 to 20-year tax break where you ain't got to pay nothing, and we'll pay for the moving costs. And you can bring some of your employees.
My partner, Fred.
Stupid.
That's what they did, nigga. I'm telling you, that nigga took care of him, nigga. You a rap, nigga. I fucks with y'all, nigga. But guess what? We got the clothes.
Well, you heard the man.
A laughing gas, ain't it?
he trying to get sized up for his next speedo. But look, we want to thank everybody. We want to thank everybody who tuned in on live, man. Of the city here.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Scribble, man. We understand you have phone, issues coming in.
Scribble.
Scribble. We get into the next show, man. I really want to hear what you were saying, Brody.
Yes, sir.
Fred Mack coming in. P 52, 58, 45, 63, 80, 82.
Yeah. Hey, man, we love y'all. But I tell you this, man, P, it was real interesting. It was real comical. It had its moments, man. Yeah. We do appreciate the love, appreciate the rhetoric back and forth, man. Just good conversation, and it's all just to make people's minds wonder, man. Just think, right? This is nothing personal. The director, we all speculate in life, man, and we just try to get to, the conclusions of some stuff we all confused about. But eventually it'll all be revealed, you know what I mean? And we'll see the truth in the matter. So whatever we always question, whatever is always good to feed the mind with thoughts, man. You understand me? And listen, man, we got our shout out to our guy. You know what I mean? I need everybody to say, you know what I mean? Shout out Sugar. Watch this. On beat. Sugar Slim. Sugar Slim, huh? Sugar Slim. Shout out.
Shout out to my boy Sugar Slim, man. Follow him on Sugar Slim Beats on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? We have been in the Delete That podcast, man. Shout out to our people that came on live, I guess, and our guest that was on phone, man. Take it easy. Peace.
And we always leave you with some motivation at the end of the show. P24445, man, a little word of motivation to the people and inspiration, man. The people out there that may be going through any kind of depression, any type of life changes in their lives, man, and going through life a hard way and experiencing pain, suffering. Shout out to the people in California, Southern Cal, that experienced the fires, the smokes, and the flames, man. But we're going to give y'all an inspirational word, man. We love y'all out there. Keep your head up, and we're praying for y'all. Man, everybody that's going through a catastrophe right now. Go ahead, P. 4424-305.
Nah, man. Hey, to the world, to everybody, man. Just implement God in your life, man, and your health is your wealth, man.
Say it again, boy. Say it again.
Keep God first, and health is your wealth.
Ooh.
If I can do it, we can all do it.
That is, man. Agape. Fred Mack, come on, baby.
Yes, sir.
Give us some word of inspiration this time, Red, and leave Trump alone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? I think Trump is put in place for a reason, man, to get all our attention, to look back, to look up. So, I mean, it's going to change a lot of people's minds. It's going to cause us to look up and not depend on this government anyway.
Have you ever?
To God be the glory.
Pay money.
Man, you already know I'm crazy, man. So do not count money in a dark alley. I repeat, do not count money in a dark alley.
Hey, man. Y'all heard it here first, man. Delete That podcast, man. It's always the word of inspiration, man. Like we always say at the end, man, love can move mountains, man. Love, 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 man. We worry about too much politics and not enough love. We gonna show love is gonna overcome a lot of the madness we see when we understand what unity is and come together for love, reasons, and peace, not politics, but peace. Man, we can overcome a lot, man. You know what I mean? Ain't no sense of going see people lose their lives fighting wars that we can control, man. Let's not fight them. Let's figure out a way to get along. Love, 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 love conquers everything. With that, turn us up, P. Huh? Turn us up, P. Yeah. Turn us up, P. Turn us up.